Did you know that our ocean is full of secrets? It is full of beautiful creatures. We are at the Monterey Bay Aquarium today and will try to uncover ocean's deepest wonders. You're gonna see amazing fish today and great feeding programs they have to offer. We will even show you how divers feed leopard sharks here. Monterey Aquarium is full of fun, play, and learning opportunities. Also, we'll show you lots of educational and hands-on activities for children. Let's get it started, guys. It will be very interesting today. Alright, so we are here at the Monterey Bay Aquarium, which is located at the ocean's edge on historic Cannery Row at the Monterey in California. We are walking to the aquarium right now and we are approaching Halloween season, so there are a lot of Halloween decor here at the aquarium. Lots of pumpkins display for adults and kids to take pictures with, and it is a costume party here today, so everybody is dressed up in their best costumes. Vera is dressed up as a mermaid, boys are dressed up in superhero costumes, and little Wally is dressed up as Minnie Mouse. And we decided to start our journey from the second floor with tropical fishes and coral reefs.
Let's explore gorgeous coral reefs. They grow very slow in warm tropical waters, building up their colorful shapes over hundreds and thousands of years, making home for different tropical fishes. Let's see some of them. Let's go, let's take a picture songs. Wow, so cool. I will show you one more.
This is a really cool little window you and the kiddos can peek through and see what kind of fish they will meet at this exhibit.
Right now we're gonna show you some tropical fish. They are amazing. This is cardinal fish. It is so cute. And this tiny tropical fish is endangered. Here I will show you a creamer shrimp and a zebra moray. Oh, I see a cleaner shrimp. It helps to keep fish healthy and clean. Can you see that zebra moray? It looks like a snake. So cool.
Zebra moray is very long and can size up to 5 feet. It eats crabs and clams and is closely related to other moray eels and ribbon eels as well. Such a cool fish.
Wow, I think Nikita found a clownfish. Those tropical fishes are so bright. Just look at those vivid colors. There is Nemo. He is a clownfish. Clownfish lives nested close to thinking anemone. Also, they size very small, up to 5 inches. They are very social fish. They live in large groups with a dominant male and female. They communicate by making popping sounds and clicking noises by slamming their teeth together. They can also be orange, black, yellow, or red. They are actually all born males and can become females later in life. There are also blue tang, yellow tang, and yellow blue tang fish floating around in this exhibit. It is so cute.
You can look at those amazing fishes and admire them for hours. Look at them swimming among those coral reefs. It is fascinating. And this is Dory, the blue tang fish. They're also very social and often live in schools. Also, they can live up to 30 years. Imagine that. Also, blue tang fish are the most popular aquarium fish. And this cute two-colored fish is called the blue hippo tanks. It features yellow belly and rest of the fish is blue. It makes a stunning addition to this beautiful tropic exhibit. And since there is a costume party today, we've seen some pretty interesting characters. Those guys are from Nightmare Before Christmas. Very cool costumes, and when it came down to costumes, people are very creative.
Hi, I'm Joy.
While exploring cool costumes, you can jump into this pretend coral play. This is a little playground for kiddos where they can learn, explore different stuff, run around. Also, such a good activity for kiddos to relax and recharge after all this learning. They can pretend to be a fish and swim, crawl inside, and glide.
It is so cool. I can pretend to be a fish or a crab.
There is also a jumping area for the kiddos where they can jump, relax, and play around.
Here we can learn how penguins talk.
Yes, here you learn how penguins communicate with each other by making special movements and special noises. Monterey Bay Aquarium features a really cool penguin exhibit and has a live feeding session. Unfortunately, we did not get a chance to visit penguins this time, but please refer to our previous video from Monterey Bay Aquarium where we filmed how the penguins are being fed. And now let's explore the Kelp Enchanted Forest exhibit on the second floor. There are some touch pools where you can explore and touch everything which grows on the bottom of the ocean. This is a very good hands-on activity for children. Here you can learn and explore some anemones. There is a wonderful strawberry anemone which grows here. It is pink. Look at that. It's fascinating. Everything which grows in the ocean looks so beautiful. So many different structures, colors. This is a strawberry anemone. You can learn and discover whether it is a plant or it is an animal. There are little fishes swimming between those anemones. You can even spot a hermit crab if you are very attentive. Green anemones are the most beautiful and add color to these beautiful aquariums. It really does look enchanted. You can spot warty sea cucumber, you can spot bull kelp, and even some red corals.
Can you see a leopard shark behind me? It is amazing. I love leopard sharks. They are not dangerous to people. They eat clams, fish, eggs, crab, and small fish. They ranges 4 to 7 feet, and females are larger than males. Wow, this is a cool fish. Looks like it has the color whips.
Wow, this fish does look really cool, and this is actually a type of rockfish. This is another rockfish. And don't be surprised if you see rockfish hanging motionless or even upside down among those cave blades. This fish can hover without sinking or floating because they have a gas-filled sac called a swim bladder that helps them stay put.
Look at this eel. It is so long.
It is a California moray eel. It is very long and slim like snakefish. And unlike most fishes, it has no pelvic fins or gill covers. And most of those fishes breathe by closing and opening their gill covers to force water open their gills. Without gill covers, the moray must consistently open and close its mouth to breathe, so it appears to be like gasping for breath all the time. They eat octopuses, shrimp, crabs, lobsters, and sea urchins, and they are mostly found in California waters.
And those are amazing touch pools where you can touch and connect with everything that is in the ocean. There is an ochre star, a long kelp, seaweed, and even a snail.
And this is a little hermit crab. Vera is trying to touch, but looks like the crab is escaping.
And you can touch all of that and experience different shapes, structures, and colors. You can even knit amazing hermit crab.
Did you know that kelp plants grow an average 4 inches a day and require a weekly underwater gardening by scuba divers who untangle and trim those fast-growing plants? And that's why they end up here in the touch pools so kids and adults can explore them.
There are different types of kelp. There's one which is really thin and shiny, and there's another one which is very sharp and thick. Wow, they are amazing.
Wow, those touch pools are definitely a great hands-on experience for the kiddos, and they can learn a lot about those fast-growing plants. This is amazing. They look the same, but they are not the same. And it's actually really good for fine motor skill development as well. This giant kelp is creating a real forest under the water. It is so fascinating. Just look at that. Wow. And did you know that kelp is also really important for photosynthesis energy? So we need to protect our kelp and make sure it stays in the ocean. You can also learn and explore different shells, big and small.
Look at this shell. It is so big and shiny. Wow, maybe oysters live there. And this is urchin. It is so sharp.
Even though it is a very awkward looking creature, it is actually an animal, and it is feeding on algae, which is a plant and grows in the ocean. It's a bit sharp and feels like you just pet a hedgehog.
Did you know the kelp is called the cucumber of the sea?
There are 2 touch pools, one on the first floor and one is on the second floor, and you can learn and explore both of them. They have different sets of plants there and animals. Some of them even have sea stars. Just by the kelp forest exhibit on the second floor, there is a really cool maze which kids can explore, can run there, climb and walk. It is a lot of fun and gives kids some time to recharge and kind of relax from all that learning.
It is so cool. We like to play there.
It is also good to know that kelp is a home for some fishes, such as rockfish, California sheephead fish, blacksmith fish, and also some zebrafishes and crabs. And now we are off to exploring the deep sea exhibit. We will see the deepest sea habitats and those who live on the sandy seafloor. Wow, those rockfish are amazing. You can just stay and stare at them for hours. Did you know that rockfish come in many shapes and sizes? There are actually over 100 rockfish species. Isn't it cool?
The color of the rockfish can be black, green, orange, and even red. Some rockfishes wear stripes or splotches. Their heads feature large eyes and thick broad mouth, which is dipped downward at the corners. They're so cool. And they eat plankton, clams, and fish.
In addition to many rockfish, you can also meet here amazing leopard sharks, also white sturgeonfish, Californian halibut fish, and bat rays, and also this giant sea bass.
It looks so grumpy.
It is grumpy and very big. It can size up to 8 feet long.
Weighing almost 600 pounds. That's a huge fish.
Yeah, sea bass is very big. I'm just mesmerized by those sharks which smoothly sail through the sea sand floor. Sometimes they bury their nose in the sand to uncover the dinner. Look at them! Sharks are awesome. And here is a replica of a giant sea bass skeleton. We can see those distinctive big jaws. Look at that, it's so big. This section of the aquarium is truly fascinating. Just look at that. It feels like below the surface of the ocean lies another world, completely undiscovered. Look at all those animals and all those plants which live there. Look, those look like mushrooms, like rocks. Look at this mystery. And this remarkable habitat is actually hidden from view, and it is accessible only by the innovative technology which is available only here at the Monterey Bay Aquarium. The life here is very diverse. You can see long-legged crabs, colorful corals, pancake-shaped octopus, and many, many more creatures.
This is a very cool hands-on activity. You can use this magnifying glass to learn and explore different coral reefs. Look, they are amazing. All of that grows on the bottom of our ocean.
It is so cool to watch and explore our undiscovered ocean. Just look at these amazing reefs. Wow. This pink anemone is called an apple anemone. It looks like a flower. Wow, so amazing. It is actually closely related to jellies.
And this look like sea mushrooms. So cool.
And it is actually called a soft mushroom coral. It is type of the coral which is soft to touch. And this animal takes only two shapes. And they all look like a small or a larger mushrooms.
In this exhibit, you can explore different types of rockfish. There is a yellow-tailed rockfish, red rockfish, and even rosy rockfish. They are so cool.
Small fish, large fish, crabs, rockfish, bass, sharks. We know so many fish in the ocean, yet there are so many that we don't know. Our ocean is full of secrets, and every day we discover new and new secrets of this ocean.
And here you can learn and explore tube anemones through this awesome play. And this is sandy floor fish. You can barely spot it.
It is so cool that in this aquarium you can learn everything through play, and this is really the best way for children to learn, through amazing play.
And those are actual tube anemones.
This anemone has built-in escape route and can disappear into its home in a blink of an eye. It can be up to 2 feet long and serve a quick escape route as constantly shifting sand. Do you see those long tentacles? They actually belong to sea star. If you are very attentive, you will spot here sea stars. There are quite a few of them. They get together in small group called galaxies. And those are different kind of sea stars. Did you know that they come in different sizes and different shapes? Some have really long tentacles, some have thicker ones. Some are large, some are small.
Some fishes swim in schools, others hide. Those fishes hide on the bottom of the ocean on the sandy seafloor.
Be very attentive and look at that sand and you can spot the fish there. And this fish likes to match the rocks on the bottom of the ocean. If you look at it, you can barely spot it among the rocks, so you have to look really closely. And here we have a sand depth fish. Those are flat fishes that hide and dig. Again, look really careful in the sand, and you can see the berry color changes patterns, and this is the amazing sand depth fish. Sandy seafloor fishes often swim in schools. They live in all depths of the sandy seafloor habitat. Some school near the surface or skim gracefully over the seafloor. Others just bury themselves in the sand and hide there. It is so fascinating to look at this exhibit and see how it changes, because it constantly does changes, as the wave action is the most powerful natural source that is affecting the sandy seafloor. That's why those fishes have to find ways to adapt to those new changes.
Can you spot this fish? You can barely see it, so be very attentive.
And here we see a very interesting fish. It is called a shovel-nosed guitar fish because it really looks like a guitar with a long pointed snout and has a guitar-shaped body. Wow, looks pretty cool, and it also lives on the sandy seafloor and changes his color to match the color of the sand.
This is Pacific sand dollar. Look, it really looks like a dollar. It's a live creature and it's really fuzzy.
With its tube feet and fuzzy spines, this animal tiptoes across the sand, and its spine helps it catch the food as well. So pretty. And today, with constantly changing technology and improving resources, we can look more and more animals and plants which grow on the bottom of the ocean, and we can explore them more deeply. It's so interesting and always changing, and feels like you can never explore the ocean completely.
And this is spotted cuss-eel.
This fish likes to hide its body completely in the sand and stick its head out.
This is a leopard shark. It is amazing. It is often found in the waters of North America. Its sizes up to 60 inches and can eat small fish and crab. And this is a giant octopus. Look at it, it's so huge.
It is called a giant Pacific octopus, and its body can reach 2 feet, and arm span can be at least 7 feet and often exceed 13 feet. Imagine that. It is a very big octopus. Look closely, and on the left you can spot red king crab.
Here you can learn and explore different small sea creatures. You can tap on a specific one and it will show you what those are.
Again, it is very cool hands-on exhibit for children. They can play and learn and explore through this amazing play.
And those are Pacific clams. Wow, they're so unique and amazing.
Really cool looking creatures which you can explore using a magnifying glass tool here at the Monterey Aquarium. And little Pavel looks like want to explore a sea star closer.
This is a spiny brittle star. It gathers on the sandy seafloor, collecting precious food with its spines. It is also gathers in large groups called galaxies.
Those creatures can bury themselves for protection in coral reef and even the sand, just leaving arm or two to catch the food. Look at this creature. It looks like a bug, but it is actually the deep sea isopod, but it is closely related to the giant roly-poly bugs in your backyard. It is so unique.
And here my little brother is exploring what is hiding under the rocks.
You can find a crab there, a rockfish, and even an octopus. Just press a button and a specific creature will light up. There is even a starfish there. Wow! It is very, very interesting. And this is a very interesting installation. Here you can see how lost things and things that are thrown in the ocean become home for many fish and tiny animals. We see a lot of things which technically don't belong to the ocean. There are some cups, glasses, even a soccer ball we see here. There is some pull of thread. Wow, it is amazing. All of those things they adapt to become homes for sea creatures, for tiny fish, for bigger fish, for clams. It is so unique. And new technologies let us look at everything even closer. Look at the teeny tiny fish picking through the bottle. Wow.
Mommy, I see glasses and a Coca-Cola bottle. How did it get there? And a cutie fish.
Yes, those fish are definitely cute. Whatever got there became a home, a new home for these amazing fishes.
Now let's go and check out amazing jellyfishes.
We invite you guys to explore this awesome jellyfish exhibit, the biggest in California.
This jellyfish is called the moon jellyfish. It is an alien-looking creature and named because of its moon-like bell. Instead of long tentacles, it has short tentacles that sweep foot toward the edge of the bowl. Its size is up to 24 inches in diameter and is often seen along the California coast. Those jellies are called sea nettle, and they can stink really painful. Those long tentacles are all covered with stinging cells. They size up to 18 inches long and sing in the waters of Alaska.
Wow, those jellies look awesome. But remember, guys, do not ever touch jellyfish, especially the one with long tentacles. The longer they are, the more painful the sting is.
Jellyfish look so soft and squishy, yet they are nature's treasures wonders. They have no bones, brains, teeth, blood, or fins. But don't let that simple anatomy fool you. They are very complex structures.
Only 5% of the body of jellyfish is solid matter. The rest is water. They are fascinating, elegant, and mysterious to watch.
And this is a comb jelly. It looks so beautiful.
Comb jelly is a glowing type of jellies.
And those are amazing crystal jellies. They have very long, delicate tentacles and can expand to swallow other jellies. Its size up to 10 inches and is seen in Southern California. And those jellyfish are called elegans. Their bellies glow bright green when exposed to blue light.
Jellyfish are amazing. Some jellyfish swim along by contracting their muscles and squirting water in the opposite direction from where they want to go. Others just swim by drifting along the ocean's currents. Some jellyfish has very short lifespans and live only a few hours, while other jellyfish can live for a few years. They range in sizes from big to small. Some of them are glowing, some of them are not. And some jellyfish can even turn their biological clock back. Jellyfish spend a lot of time seeking food. They can trap their food using their long tentacles. They create a net and drag the food towards them. It's kind of fascinating feature. And right now we are approaching a really cool exhibit. It is the Real Seafood Cafe, where it tells you about the real cost of seafood. It is staged like a real cafe with the cooks, and you kind of sit down and order the food, and then the cooks will tell you everything about your specific dish. So let's hear them out. We'll pick from fat-free tuna, orange rowdy, and bluefin tuna and see what the cooks get to say about it. So interesting.
Bluefin tuna. Why did it have to be bluefin tuna?
bluefin are pretty incredible animals, you know. They're the largest tunas in the sea, living up to 40 years.
And they migrate across whole oceans.
But right now, they're in serious jeopardy of being fished right out of existence.
You see, these top predators are highly coveted. A delicacy, prized for sushi and sashimi.
Since the 1960s, bluefin tuna populations around the globe have dwindled by more than 90%.
The worst part about that is, the fish that are left behind are much smaller than the 1,400 plus pound giants that used to rule the oceans.
The real question here is, how do we save the bluefin?
We really need more research to understand where these fish spawn and where they travel, so we can protect the places where they live.
Researchers are working on a wide range of projects to better protect this iconic species.
So until things are better, do your part and say adieu blue. It could just save the future of the species.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the orange roughy, or as I call it, one very needy fishy.
When you're dining on one of these deep sea fish, it's like wiping out a whole part of the ocean habitat in the process.
Yeah, honestly, these days the orange roughy aren't doing too well. We catch them before they reach breeding age, so the population is already in peril.
But what's really upsetting here is where and how they're caught. It's a process called bottom trawling.
A massive net is dragged along the bottom of the ocean in the sensitive area. Sure, you scoop up a lot of fish,
but at a huge environmental cost.
Yeah. In a matter of minutes, seamount habitats and slow-growing corals are destroyed without a single cry for help.
What's worse is this type of damage can take generations to grow back, if it grows back at all.
Take my advice on this one. The price tag here is just too steep. You know, I'd like to suggest delicious U.S. striped bass instead. Pretty tasty. Young tuna, sharks, anything that just happens to be swimming by. It's called bycatch. And it's bad news for our already struggling oceans.
Well, demand for more responsible fishing means we don't have to follow that unfortunate fact.
And next time you buy canned tuna, check your label for fad-free or school-caught. Looks like you can have your tuna and eat it too.
This one. We're gonna teach you how to.
What an interesting cafe. It was so cool to find out those facts about rare fish. Now let's check out pelagic red crab. Look at those tiny creatures. They begin their life as drifters. They drift with California current along the Pacific coast of Baja California. These waters provide food tiny plankton, and these crabs catch it as they swim. Later in life, they settle on the sea floor to forage. And here we can experience the power of waves. We can see how the waves are being made and what they do to the marine life. It is called a rocky shore and a tide pool exhibit. Vera and Pavel love to learn about different plants that grow on the bottom of the ocean and what the power of waves does to them. Very educational exhibit filled with lots of hands-on activities, and this is another hands-on activity where you can click on specific plant or animal and you can learn about it. You can read and see what it does, how it moves. So cool. So it shows that when the tide is high, the mussels and everything off the shores are being washed off. And here the kiddos learn about steelhead cycle. You can spin this wheel and learn about different stages of steelhead life. There is a glass tunnel where you can experience the power of waves, and also it is a perfect spot for pictures. We love Monterey Bay Aquarium. It is very good for children. It educates them, introduces them to marine life. It is full of fun, full of cool exhibits where children can learn and experience everything through play. Check out those amazing stingray fish. If you get lucky, you can pet one. Did you know that Monterey Bay Aquarium is one of the best aquariums in the world? It is all because of its amazing exhibits and hands-on activities. It was the first aquarium which introduced hands-on experience and a whole live kelp forest exhibit. Only here you can touch amazing plants which lives on the bottom of the ocean. Only here you can learn and experience everything through play. They have amazing feeding programs where you can see how fish is being fed. You can see how penguins are being fed and cared for. You can see amazing sharks, and you can also swim with them if you are old enough. Here you can make waves and learn about the importance of going green and using reusable cups. It is amazing aquarium for children and adults to learn marine life.
There is an amazing sea otter exhibit. They are so cute. Did you know that here at the Monterey Aquarium is a special feeding program where you can see how sea otters are being fed. They are given enrichment toys containing their delicious food, and they are trying to act like in wild nature. Also, sea otters have very thick fur. Also, they are very intelligent. A sea otter can live its whole life without leaving the ocean. Wow, that's amazing. He swims his whole life. Also, sea otters can eat 25% of their body weight and food each day. Also, they spend 11 hours a day sleeping and resting. Wow! I wish I can do that. So cool creatures.
Yes, Vera, they are very cool. And they are actually critically endangered. But here at the Monterey Aquarium, there is a great program which protects those amazing sea otters. There are 6 of them here at the exhibit, and they each have their own name and they're very much loved. An interesting fact is that when sea otters sleep, they wrap themselves in kelp for protection, so they don't float away. They also like to hold each other's hand to stay close while sleeping. They're very social animals and connect to each other on individual basis. Also, they like to care for each other and live in large groups. When sea otters are not sleeping, they spend a lot of time doing their hair. Believe it or not, but they enjoy grooming. They have a very dense fur coat, and they spend many times cleaning it and grooming. This process coats their fur with natural oils from their skin and allows them to fluff their fur with insulating air bubbles to keep warm. There's also an aviary section with amazing seabirds showcase. They live here in conditions close to wild nature. So let's check out those amazing seabirds.
Meet seabird puffins. They're also called the parrots of the sea because of their bright beaks. Such a beautiful bird, which spends most of its life diving for food. How cool! This is a bird, but it swims just like a fish. Its sizes from 13 to 16 inches. It weighs about 2 pounds. It eats small fishes, anchovies, squid, and krill. It is often seen along northern Pacific coast. Really beautiful bird.
Oh yes, this bird is beautiful. An interesting fact that puffins can fly 10 miles offshore in search of food. And also, they could spend a whole day in the water looking for food. Also, they mate for life and can spend the whole life with the same partner. Those birds are very skilled hunters
And can hold up to 12 fish in their mouths at once. Also, puffins' big changes color throughout the year.
Wow, what a cool bird! Here at the Monterey Aquarium, they have an educational feeding program which you can be a part of. You can see how those amazing seabirds are being fed. And here is a wonderful play area which is called Soaring with Birds. And here children can learn a lot about seabirds, about penguins, about how they nest, how they fly, and how they catch fish. Also, there are lots of hands-on activities where children can try and kind of see and explore everything for themselves. This exhibit is really amazing. It's like children can discover everything through play. Here you can see how birds glide, and they can understand the process better through personal experience. It really feels like it's a whole family adventure filled with hands-on activities where you can learn everything about those amazing creatures. You can learn, practically touch everything, and see how the penguins lay down their eggs, how they care for their offsprings, You can see how the birds fly away, how they care for each other, and how they communicate. Did you know that puffins click their beaks together for attraction? When one puffin likes another, they click beaks. Also, when puffins lay down their eggs, they dig a little tunnel and put the egg there to make sure it is safe from other animals. There are also lots of books where you can look through and learn about penguins and birds, how they feed their offsprings, and look for food.
Mommy, look at that! I can learn about seabirds. It is so interesting here. We can learn, play, and have fun at the same time. So cool. Peekaboo, I am here.
And here is a feeding exhibit for kids where they can learn how to feed birds, how they feed their offsprings. They practically gives them food with their mouth to their mouth directly.
Look, I will show you how birds feed each other. It is such a cool learning game.
From here, you can walk outside and experience the life on the bay. You can see the real ocean since the aquarium located on the coast of the Monterey Bay. Look at this endless ocean. It is fascinating. If you look very attentively, you can spot sea otters. You can see sea lions there and seabirds. If you keep looking on the ocean for a while, you may notice dark patches on the water. If you see large golden brown patches floating on the bay surface, it is kelp. But if you see a brown lump kind of sticking above the water surface, it is a sea otter resting on the kelp bed. Boys had a really fun time looking at the ocean trying to find a sea otter or a seabird. There are a few types of seabirds living here on the coastal side of Monterey Bay, and you can learn about all of them here in this amazing exhibit. There is an observation deck on the third floor which has a wave making process. You can see and kind of learn. Really cool to see how the waves are being made in the aquarium. Alright, so we are at the kelp forest exhibit on the first floor. Just look at this amazing sea forest. And this is the giant sea bass. Wow, looks so big. And we are gonna see right now how everybody here in the exhibit are being fed. It is called kelp forest feeding exhibit, and what's gonna happen in a couple minutes is that you will see a diver, a scuba diver, which is gonna come down to the very bottom of this exhibit, and he's gonna feed fish by himself with his own hands. This show is amazing. I would suggest everybody who is visiting Monterey Bay Aquarium to come down and to see this feeding. Now, if you look very attentively, you will notice a diver coming down on the left side. And the boys are watching the same exhibit from the second floor, and they see actually the diver coming down from the very top. He's coming down to feed all those hungry fishes, and he's even gonna feed sharks. It is amazing. I bet the water is very cold. So we're gonna leave a live sound on for a little bit so you can experience it the way we did.
I'd like to introduce us properly to our kelp forest exhibit here today. Because you'll notice when you look at this kelp forest in front of us, even some extra visuals I've got for you on the left side monitor. Well, this is more than just a simple collection of plants and animals that we put together in one shared space. This is truly an entire community that we have recreated, where all these animals have really neat interactions with each other. They form their own relationships and different roles they occupy within this kelp forest space. So the backbone of that community, the most important part really is the giant kelp itself. Without this golden plant, we wouldn't have any of the life we see in here. It provides the home and the habitat for all these other animals. So we're really grateful to see a beautiful kelp forest. In fact, grateful to see a beautiful kelp forest off our own back decks. And now let's step outside today on our back decks, and let's see all that brown stuff right on the surface of the water. That's the top of our backyard kelp forest, the canopy, if you will. You might observe some sea otters wrapped up in those kelp fronds, or seabirds diving through it to retrieve a meal. That kelp canopy is just one small part of a much larger story, though, the understory, if you will. Because underneath that kelp canopy, we get this glimpse of life that we're seeing right here. So we're all at this chance now to enjoy and appreciate the view and the beauty of a kelp forest. But the water itself isn't the only important part of it. It's also what that water brings with it. All the microscopic life found in the ocean is essential for a healthy kelp forest. The tiny plant spores, larval, animals, plankton. It's so rich with life. And it contributes to the view we see here today. The algae covering the walls and the rockwork, the bath stars settling into this space. Much of that came from that seawater intake system. It allows us to create a truly authentic representation of the kelp forest you'd see outside. But we're not just bringing water in, we're also bringing divers in, as you can see and hopefully hear. That breathing sound means James's microphone is live with us. So hello, James. How's the water?
Hi, Jenna. Hi, everybody. The water is wonderfully cool.
I can imagine that's probably why you're in that thick wetsuit right there.
Yes, that's right. You know, that cool water in Monterey Bay is one of the reasons why it is so productive. And that is because that cool water is often welled up from deeper. It has lots and lots of nutrients in it that are great for stimulating the growth of things like giant kelp.
So speaking of nutrients in the water, it looks like you're bringing some of your own nutrients for the fish today. You've got a full bucket of something there. Do you mind telling us what's on the menu?
It's a whole smorgasbord today. I've got whole squid, cut up squid, like a clam, it's quite big, looks like, some scallops in here, prawns. Your favorite in my jar, vitamin-enriched gel cubes.
Yeah.
Love water. It's a journey, hold the line.
So you did hear that right, folks. Vitamin cubes are on the menu for these fish here as well. We need to make sure everyone gets a balanced meal. And for our fish in this exhibit, well, since we handle so much food here at the aquarium, we get a lot of bulk shipments of frozen food. That freeze-in process makes for easier transport, but it does lose some of the nutritional content to that seafood. So these vitamin cubes are an easy way for us to reintroduce that back to their diet. Now, for all that food you're sending out right now, James, you've got quite a variety, as you explained, but it's also all sorts of different sizes to that food, right, James? Can you explain why?
So, and that's on purpose, because if you look at all of these fish, they have different sized mouths, and that is a clue to what they do in the environment. You know, we've got little tiny mouths out in the front, like these surf perch, and they're pickers. They pick little things off the surfaces or right out in the middle of the water. And then we've got other fish, like these leopard sharks that have, you know, still relatively small mouths, but their mouths are kind of slung under their head, which tells you that they eat things close to the bottom. So, you know, depending on what fish it is, they eat a different size.
Now, just jumping in here while we're on the subject of animals with pretty distinct mouths and feeding structures, we're actually seeing our male pelican and sheephead approach your left side right now, and that's got some pretty distinct jaws right there. Let's see if we get it some lunch.
Yeah, so this is our big male sheephead, and they're a wonderful, very important member of the kelp because they actually, one of the things that they like to eat is sea urchins. And sea urchins, in turn, really like to eat kelp. And so if there are too many urchins around, they can literally, all together, in slow motion, mow down an entire kelp forest. So it's really important to have animals like the sheephead around to control the population, things like sea urchins.
That is a pretty good representation of the different roles animals have in the kelp forest. Now, James, I'm just going to restate a little bit for our audience because I have to say we were a little distracted. The sheephead did spit out its squid and suck it back in like 2 different times, so that was pretty amusing to see. But what James was saying simply is that those sharp, strong teeth and jaws we saw the sheephead means they're perfectly suited to eating sea urchins. And when urchins eat kelp in here, and there isn't an animal like a sheephead to control that population, well then we lose this whole dynamic kelp forest. So we're just really grateful to see these sheepheads thriving in here and providing that role in the community.
Yes, you know, every single animal in here has a unique role in this very diverse and complex community. They all do things just slightly differently, which allows them to sort of coexist in the same space, because a lot of times doing things just a little bit differently means that you're not competing with your neighbor. So the kelp forest, in addition to being very, very productive, as we talked about before, kelp actually grows at an incredible rate. I don't remember whether you talked about that, Jenna, but over a foot per day, and often under perfect conditions, even over 2 feet per day. So that's a lot of productivity, and all of these things can take advantage of that in different ways.
Oh yeah, that kelp forest is truly impressive, folks. Now, James, you mentioned briefly before those leopard sharks, their mouth is on the other side of their body. We've seen quite a few examples of them swimming up against the window right now, so we're getting a good view of that mouth structure here. Do you mind talking a little bit about kind of their role in this community, maybe how they coexist with all these other smaller fish around here?
Absolutely. So if you notice, their mouth, like I said before, is pretty small. It's actually way smaller than a mouth that would be needed for, you know, if it was to try and eat, say, a big opaline like this fish. These fish, those leopard sharks, mostly eat things like, you know, they actually have a very varied diet, but oftentimes their food is relatively small. things like fat innkeeper worms, and they might suck out of their burrows and go smooth. Or clam siphons that might stick up out of the mud and they crop up. So little things close to the bottom usually, although they, like I say, they have a very varied diet, and that allows them to exist in a lot of different habitats. So you'll see the leopard shark in other exhibits in the aquarium that represent those other habitats.
Wow, that is amazing. It looks like a simulation of wild nature where you can see predators and prey living in the same environment. Leopard sharks are here with tiny fish, and because they're being fed on time, they have little motivation to go after little fish. There's so much fish there. Look at that exhibit. Diver feeds them directly. It is amazing. And those leopard sharks, actually, they eat big chunks of krill. Wow. These fish really are amazing and very impatient for the diver who is feeding them. That's such a cool interaction, and it's a very good educational exhibit for everybody to see. Also, it takes a whole village to care for this amazing fish. Did you know that here at the Monterey Aquarium there are over hundreds of divers who dive there every day and care for this amazing fish and care for the aquarium itself. Care for plants, care from the sandy floor of this exhibit. And every diver has its own story and they're ready to share it with you guys. Also, did you know that this exhibit, this underwater forest, is 28 feet and it is one of the tallest aquariums in the world? It is amazing.
These leopard sharks really kind of remind me of puppy dogs. They come right up and there is no question what they want.
Oh yes, they're very eager. Now, we've kind of gone a whole journey through the kelp forest today, talking about some of these different animals, the different roles they have up on the surface and the middle, grazing on urchins, grazing on food buried in the sand. There's another cool animal I like to talk about that's got a pretty neat role in this kind of community. Now, we've got a lot of fish in here, James, called rockfish. Now, for anyone who hasn't heard of rockfish before, there's actually quite a few different subspecies on them, different colors, different names. But in general, they're looking a little bit like these ones hang out near the windowsill here with those frilled fins, the kind of speckled coloration there. And these rockfish are ambush predators. I think James is going to see if we can get a demonstration here.
You saw how fast that fish opened its mouth. So that is the way an ambush predator feeds. It waits for its prey to come close, and then with a very quick burst of speed, it can either overtake or even, in the case of the rockfish, suck its prey in to its mouth from a good distance away by just opening its mouth really quickly.
That's right. These rockfish are pretty incredible too. It's what actually helps them live really long lives because they're saving up so much energy from the strategy. Some rockfish species can live over 100 years old. Pretty impressive. Oh my gosh, so impatient those leopard sharks. But with these rockfish and that feeding strategy, that longevity, well, it means they have a pretty interesting history out in the bay in terms of their cycles of abundance. Now, since they live such long lives, it takes them a while to reproduce and replenish their populations. When we humans are interacting with them out in the bay, one of our favorite things to do is to fish animals like this. It's all human nature, right? We like to eat seafood too. But unfortunately, it meant because it takes them so long to replenish their populations, these rockfish have a history of being overfished, and for a while, they practically vanished from our Monterey Bay.
With time, our oceans change, and so do our habitats. They have to adapt to new food, new ways of living, and new climate. Thankfully, here at the Monterey Aquarium, there is a good sharks and large fish protection program where they care for them.
To help us make better informed seafood purchasing choices. So you can imagine, so the Seafood Watch program is great. A really simple program to use where it's organized in a kind of green, yellow, red, and yes, the sharks are cool. Sort of ordination. And you can imagine what that means. So the red is things you might want to avoid. Yellow things are kind of good alternatives, maybe every once in a while. And best choices are in green here. So some really great choices, and a long list of really great choices.
Here, scientists go really big about Seafood Watch program, which is all about sustainable food choices. They say that you have to make sure that you eat the fish which is popular but not the rare fish, because that way we can protect and save rare fish. Wow, diver is practically all covered with all those fishes. Look at that, they're so impatient. And did you just see that fish with a red belly? It is called California sheephead fish. It has very large chin and pounding canine teeth that pry hard-shelled animals from rocks. Look at that, look at those jaws. Wow, it is amazing. It is one unique fish. It sizes up to 3 feet and weighs about 36 pounds and can eat hard-shelled animals such as sea urchins, mollusks, lobsters, and crabs. Wow, this kelp forest exhibit really looks amazing. Looks like our diver is finishing up the feeding. It was so fascinating to watch him feed all those fishes. Bye, diver. Thank you for sharing your stories and showing us how you feed and care for the fish. Also, here there is an albatross encounter experience which we would like to share with you. So get ready to meet this amazing bird.
Yeah, so Makana is one of 2 lace-on albatross that we have here at the aquarium. And today she's being joined by her 2 favorite people. And what Aaron's got her today, looks like we got a few snacks for her. Now this is what we call positive reinforcement. Since Makana has decided to come on down and say hello to us this afternoon, we're going to go ahead and reward her with some of her favorite things, and in this case, some of her favorite snacks. Looks like we got some big fish and a little bit of squid on the menu for her.
Wow, what an amazing bird, and it looks like they take a really good care of her by feeding her really good snacks, and right now they're spraying the water so the bird would feel like she's in a wild nature.
And I'm really happy that she's decided to come down and say hello to us. Now, would you believe me if I told you not only did she come down here for you all to get a good look at her, but she also came down here to get a really good look at you all. Yeah, so you all are actually serving as a form of enrichment for her. Enrichment are things we do for our animals to provide them with some physical and mental stimulation. Since Makana lives most of her time behind the scenes in her lovely penthouse suite, she doesn't get to see very many people aside from our aquaculture adventurous. So this is her one time a day where she gets to come out and say hello to you all, and she gets to see different shapes, sizes, hair colors, outfits. So she is definitely taking it all in right now. So if you're wondering, is she staring at me? The answer is yes, she may or may not be judging your outfit as well. You never know. Single year to find that very special someone and to raise their chicks. This is the only time you will see lace-on albatross on land. The rest of the time, they're flying out over the open sea. And another one of my favorite things about lace-on albatross is they mate for life. Now, how do lace-on albatross find that very special someone? Well, what better way than breaking it down on the dance floor? Thank you so much, Mikana. And the lace-on albatross will do a multi-step dance routine with a combination of clicks, whistles, head bobs, wing tucks, or my personal favorite, which is the sky move. They will tilt their head up to the sky and let out a light hum. That's one of my personal favorites. Now, for those of you that are still looking for that special someone, maybe try some of those dance moves the next time you're out with your friends. You might get lucky.
Well, that's a good advice from the birdie. Now look at that albatross gonna spread the wings right now. Look at that. It's amazing. Wow, she really feels like she's in a wild nature. Also, they got really big about going green and using less plastic here at the Monterey Aquarium because it is very dangerous for those birds, and they will explain you why in a brief moment.
They love squid. And the way they catch their squid is through a process called surface seizing. They will land on the surface of the water and use that hook-shaped beak to scoop up all of that squid, and they'll bring some of that back to feed to their offspring. However, in addition to a squid, they're also encountering something else in their hunting grounds. In addition to squid, they're encountering increasing amounts of plastic pollution in their hunting grounds, and they can't mistake this for food. Now, where is all this plastic coming from? It's ending up in places far offshore. Well, it's actually coming from us here on land, and it's reaching pretty long distances because they ride those ocean currents. And it wasn't too long ago that single-use plastic was thought of as a wonder material, a way to simplify everyday life. Once we were done using something, we could simply just throw it away. However, over the years, we have learned there is no way. In fact, most of the plastic ever created is still with us here today, and it's ending up in the hunting grounds of lace-on albatross. And single-use plastics is a material that the earth simply cannot digest, and neither can birds like Makana. Because imagine you are an albatross parent, you have a hungry chick to feed on the nest, you go out to the open sea hoping to find some squid to feed to your chick, but instead of coming back with a stomach full of squid, you're coming back with a stomach full of plastic, and you're regurgitating this to your chick. And a lot of lace-on albatross chicks have been found with plastics in their stomachs. Now I know this seems like a very daunting task to tackle, but I'm sure some of you all are already taking the steps necessary to reduce single-use plastics in your own lives. How many of you all use a reusable water bottle or reusable grocery bag when you go out?
I really enjoyed seeing Makana. It was interesting to find out that she's 14 years old and lives here almost her whole life. It is a really beautiful bird and the largest seabird with the wingspan up to 80 inches. Albatrosses eat squid, fish eggs, and shrimp. They're often seen across the northern Pacific Ocean.
It was really cool that you could come up and ask questions about the bird and about its features.
Bye, Makana. It was really nice to meet you.
In one drop of water, I found the secrets of all endless oceans. This is so true. One drop of ocean water contains a secret of its pollution. Our ocean is very polluted, and every day we have thousands of gallons of oil disposed to the ocean, which pollutes them. It damages our ocean wildlife and ecosystem. So we have to take good care of our ocean. We have to be careful of where we dispose oil. And of course, we have to be careful of using plastic. So let's take a look at this exhibit, which explains how oil pollutes our ocean. Monterey Bay Aquarium is going big about ocean protection, about protecting of its habitats from harmful oil spills, usage of plastic, and household waste. They remind of careful oil disposal and the importance of using reusable bags and cups.
This is a very cool exhibit which explains why plastic is so harmful for the ocean. This is how the plastic drifts in the ocean.
Look at those tiny particles. Large plastic waste flows into waterways and rights ocean currents. Over time, plastic breaks down into small crabs collected in the North Pacific Gyre. Those tiny bits are called mermaid tears and look like food to ocean animals.
In reality, lots of plastic bags and bottles are being disposed in the ocean every day, and they are very harmful. Plastic bags look like jellies, and sometimes fish mistaken them for food. Seabirds mistaken plastic pieces for food and bring them to feed their chicks. That's why it is so important to go green so we can protect our ocean.
We have to be very careful of where we dump trash. We have to be careful with plastic usage and switch to reusable cups for water and for coffee drinks. Also, we have to use reusable grocery bags, and that will tremendously help our ocean.
I don't use plastic, I go green.
Plastic and oil waste are dangerous for turtles, seabirds, and other ocean animals. Look at this. This is all found on the bottom of the ocean.
And this is what oil that is being dumped in the ocean does to it. Look how many plastic waste is found in the ocean. It impacts its pollution. So let's go green and protect our ocean.
So next time you are in the store and want to buy a plastic water bottle, think about it. Think about the ocean, and maybe you will refill a reusable water bottle. Also, think carefully about those grocery bags which looks like jellyfish, and maybe next time you will use a reusable bag. And those are little anchovies swimming in schools. And since we are here for a special event, there are special treats available for all guests of the aquarium. They had delicious cookies. Look at this design on the top of the aquarium. I think Pavel likes it.
Let's go and see fish at the open sea exhibit.
Let's go, Vera, and see the biggest exhibit in the whole aquarium. This exhibit is located on the second floor, and you will see lots of fish there. Amazing tuna, large Pacific sardines, and even sharks, jellies, and large turtles. It is a very interesting exhibit, and it's about how species adapt. It's interesting to know that life in open waters is divided into two groups, drifters and swimmers. Drifters are the ones who are being carried by main currents. They include small plants, some animals such as octopus, large jellies, small jellies, and swimmers are the ones who have to swim to find some fish. Those are sea turtles, whales, fishes. So let's go and explore them.
Look, I see hammerhead shark.
Yes, Vera, you are right. This is a hammerhead shark. Do you know anything about hammerhead shark you can tell us?
It has a very white hat shaped like a double-headed hammer. So it's called a hammerhead shark. Its size 14 feet long and weighs up to 350 pounds. Its diet consists of fishes, squid, and stingrays. Also, it is related to oceanic white-tip shark, tiger, and bull sharks.
And now let's see how they feed fish here at the open sea exhibit. We'll leave the live sound on so you can hear it for yourself.
Hey, good morning, Kathy. I'm doing wonderful up here, and just to make sure before I say anything else, can everyone hear me okay down there?
Yeah! Alberto, we can hear you, and we are so excited. What are we expecting for today's feeding program?
That is wonderful, Kathy. I'm so happy that everyone can hear me. And for today, we're going to be having a two-part feeding, and we're going to be feeding just about everyone inside the exhibit today. But we're going to be starting off with our larger and faster fish, that being our yellowfin tuna and our mahi-mahi as well. And they're going to be getting some delicious market squid with the top and best quality, of course, and some delicious bait fish as well.
Squid and bait fish sound really good. What's next in the feeding program?
So for the second part, we're going to be feeding our 10,000 hungry mouths in there, our Pacific sardines, of course. And I am curious, I know they like to tend to hang out at the very bottom of the exhibit. They're a little bit shyer. Can you see them right now, though?
Yeah, so folks, Alberto is absolutely right. Those thousands and thousands of Pacific sardines are hanging out on the lower level of the exhibit right now. When they feel ready, they will swim on up, especially once we start to throw their food items into the exhibit. What's on the menu for those thousands of Pacific sardines?
That's a great question, Kathy. They are going to be fed some really yummy fish pellets along with some krill as well. So once it hits that water, it's definitely going to look like a little bit of a cloud of food. And once that food drifts a little bit closer down to the bottom, it's going to act like a trail of breadcrumbs for the sardines to then hopefully make their way a little bit higher up the exhibit so everyone can finally see them pretty soon.
Amazing. I am quite excited for that. Now, Alberto, how are we going to get this feeding party started today?
So I do have a super secret signal. So I will say that this signal has to stay between us, okay? Nobody else can actually leave with this signal, so you gotta erase it from your memory. Are y'all ready for this?
We are so ready, Alberto. Show us that secret signal. Love it. There we go, folks. Now, Alberto, I'm gonna go ahead and take it from here. Are you available to come out for any questions now that you are a celebrity?
Oh, absolutely, Kathy. I will definitely be making my way down there to answer any questions or just have any fun chats that anyone would like to.
That sounds great. We'll talk to you later. Folks, if you take a look at the top of the exhibit, you can see some California market squid hitting the surface of the water right now. This is the first course for our larger and faster fish, so for our dolphin fish and our yellowfin tuna. Now that California market squid is a sustainable seafood choice. Something that guides us here at the aquarium is we're always looking to provide sustainable seafood, whether that be for our animals on exhibit or for the seafood that we provide in our cafe. By purchasing sustainable seafood, we are able to look out for the ocean. It's one of many ways that we help out our ocean and our marine animal friends. And as you can see, the dolphin fish in particular are very excited about that sustainable California market squid. Now let's talk a little bit more about those dolphin fish. These are those large, silvery, slender fish with that sail-like fin hanging out near the top of the exhibit. If you're wondering how you can tell the difference between a male and a female dolphin fish, the males really have a much larger forehead. So go ahead and take a look at that. And as you are watching these animals, some of you might have noticed it looks like they're changing color. And this is not a trick of the light. Dolphin fish do have chromatophores, which are color-changing cells, and they have been observed showing off some brilliant colors of blue, green, and even gold. Scientists have observed this behavior when they are hunting, breeding, or sometimes when they are caught by fishermen. And earlier, my friend Alberto did call them mahi-mahi. That is one of the names that these animals go by. They are also referred to as dorado. So some of you might know these animals as dolphin fish, others mahi-mahi or dorado. Now we can see these animals going after this here. Ooh, and here comes our scallop hammerhead shark. So we're right over from the left-hand side of the exhibit, making her way over to the center there. She is 8 years old, and she's around 5.5 feet in length, and that's a little bit longer than I am tall. We love her so very much, and some of you might be wondering, how do we see our lovely hammerhead shark? Folks, if you take a look at the monitors on either side of the exhibit window there, you will see how we're able to feed that hammerhead shark. A member of the animal care team will attach a piece of tasty salmon fillet right to the end of a bamboo pole. And that hammerhead shark will swim right on up and take that food to go. Truly an incredible thing to get the chance to see, and I'm always jealous she gets that delicious salmon fillet. And as you go on by there, don't forget to take a look at that oddly shaped head. Scientists think that this does help them with their maneuverability as they're making their way around the exhibit. So if you happen to notice them making some rather quick twists and turns, it might be because of that interesting shaped head. Now as we take a look at the top of the exhibit, it looks like some of that chopped up bait fish is hitting the surface now, and our yellowfin tuna are quite excited about that. The yellowfin tuna are those cool little football or torpedo-shaped animals hanging out right in the middle of the exhibit. These animals can reach pretty incredible speeds, and that is where we thought by scientists that yellowfin tuna stingrays showing off there. I'll show y'all how we feed our pelagic stingrays in a little bit. Talking about those yellowfin tuna, scientists think these animals can reach speeds up to 30 miles per hour. So we're getting a chance to see that here a little bit, probably not quite that fast. And they have some really incredible adaptations that help them reach these impressive speeds. For one thing, they are shaped a little bit like a football. This does make them really hydrodynamic. And if you take a look at the sides of their bodies, they have grooves where they can fit in their pectoral fins. And this makes them even more hydrodynamic. It reduces that drag over water. Now that pelagic stingray there, I do want to talk about how we are able to feed them. Now throughout your visit at the aquarium, you'll see the word pelagic a lot. That really just means related to the open sea. So since these animals live in the open sea, it really is a suitable name. And to feed those animals, we will do something called a target feeding. These animals have been trained to respond to a target. It acts like a visual dinner bell. They will swim right on up to the target, flip on over, and these animal care team members can feed them some tasty food, like some baked fish, some salmon, maybe even some squid. And to add the food toward their mouth, which is on the underside of their body, they will use their fins and form a for them. But if they're feeling a little bit hungry, they can go ahead and take a bite of that food. Now we did see some of that chopped up bait fish hit the water earlier, and almost if you look on the left-hand side of the exhibit, looks like our Pacific sardines are coming on up to say hello. Let's enjoy these fish fireworks. Okay, a little bit about folks. I'll tell you one thing, I never get tired of seeing this incredible view. Now, we do have those fish pellets hitting the water column right now. Those are those chocolate fish pellets I was mentioning earlier. For these animals to feed all those fish pellets, they will swim right through these clouds of food with their mouths wide open. These cool built-in posture strainers on the sides of their head, these are gill raiders, and that will trap the food and allow the seawater to flow right on through. And this incredible schooling behavior we're watching right now is part of their defense strategy. Because in the open sea, there really is nothing to hide behind. There's no rocks or kelp forest, so it's a good idea to hide behind your 9,999 very best friends. They're able to do this behavior by using specialized sensory structures that allow them to sense the other sardines that are around them and to sense that there is a major disturbance in the water, a disturbance that might be caused by a predator. Now you might be wondering, what type of chopped up bait fish do we feed our yellowfin tuna and our dolphin fish? And folks, the chopped up bait fish that we feed them are chopped up sardines. I know what you're thinking, right? We've got 10,000 Pacific sardines that live in this exhibit space. But I also did mention how this is a representation of the open sea, where you would expect to find predator and prey living in the exact same habitat space. So yes, it's true, those yellowfin tuna and those dolphin fish are natural predators of the Pacific sardines. But by feeding all of our animals on such a set schedule with such a nutritious diet, they really have very little motivation to go after their neighbors right here in the exhibit, especially because it's much easier to just wait for food to fall down from the sky. In addition, these predators here, they are visual predators, which means to be able to single out a single sardine in order to be able to chase it down and consume it. And as you can see, as these animals are doing that schooling behavior, it really is difficult to follow one single sardine. And if you don't believe me, let's go ahead and test that out. Folks, go ahead and pick your favorite Pacific sardine and follow it around for 5 seconds with your eyes. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, you still have your sardine. Some of you go ahead and take a look at that dolphin fish. Whoa! You still have your sardine? Yeah. You don't, right? So you can see how effective that defensive strategy is. And kiddos, this is why it's so important for all of you to stay in school. Thank you so much, everyone.
And this was an amazing feeding program here at the Open Sea exhibit. As we see here, predators, yellow tuna and Pacific sardines, who are the prey, they are living within the same exhibit. It is fascinating.
Do you see this tiny group of fish?
Oh yes, Nikita, I'm sure we all can see this group of sardines.
It is called a school of fish. It is a group of fish that swim together in a synchronized manner, moving in the same direction, in the same speed, and turning at the same time. It is so cool.
You can seriously spend hours and hours exploring and admiring this exhibit, and you will never get tired seeing yellow tuna floating along with sharks and turtles.
Oh, look at this giant turtle.
It is called a green sea turtle. Its size is approximately 4 feet long and weighs up to 400 pounds. Looks like it's always on the move. Green turtles are often seen in tropical and subtropical waters worldwide. And this is how this wonderful installation looks at night with all the bubbles on. Look at this all fish swimming around. You can see yellow tuna, large Pacific sardines, small sardines, sharks, turtles, stingray fish. It is fascinating. They all live together, and thanks to them being fed on time on the set schedule, predators have little motivation to go after the prey. Wow, it is amazing. Look at this hammerhead shark. Did you know that hammerhead sharks are critically endangered and we have to take a good care of them because sharks are awesome. They really are amazing. And this is a cow-nosed ray fish we see right now, which swims toward the school. Its size is up to 7 feet and is closely related to bat rays and stingrays. Its diet consists of clams, snails, lobsters, oysters, and crabs. You can also see in the exhibit pelagic stingray fish.
Look at those northern anchovies. They're swimming so fast in this amazing school of fish. If you look closer, you will notice food in their mouth. They are trying to catch something.
Anchovies are a prize catch. Small fishes like them are important in the ocean food web. They feast on tiny plankton and, in turn, are food for tunas, seabirds, and other animals and people too sometimes. They move really fast and stick together as one shimmering school in order to escape predators. And since aquarium is located on the cannery row, there is a big cannery exhibit on the first floor.
The history of cannery is huge at the Monterey Aquarium. There is a big exhibit dedicated to cannery. The first cannery in Monterey opened in 1902. Since then, over 19 canneries were built, packing anything from salmon to rockfish. Sardines were the most popular. This exhibit has big selection of sardines, and aquarium focuses on the big importance of sustainable fishing.
There is a really big sardines display explaining the nature of cannery process.
Monterey Aquarium is beautiful. We enjoyed learning about fish and other animals who live here. Especially, I loved sharks and cow forest.
Also, here at the Monterey Aquarium, there is a cafe where you can get a snack or even can have a full-size lunch or dinner. Look at this cafe being nicely decorated for the holiday Halloween season. Wow, looks pretty cool. And as you can see, there is a big variety of dishes here, even desserts. So if you are hungry or you'd like to take a break from learning, you can swing by this amazing cafe and have a bite. And since today is the costume party, everybody's dressed up, everybody's cheering, happy and dancing. And dances are the best way to finish this amazing day at the Monterey Aquarium. We highly recommend everybody visit this aquarium. It is amazing. It's a great educational opportunity for children. They can learn a lot about those marine habitats and you can have a great day here.
We had so much fun today and learned a lot about amazing sea habitats. Ocean is full of secrets, and we hope today we were able to uncover some of them.
And with this, our today's video is coming to the end. We hope you guys enjoyed it and learned a lot about those amazing marine habitats and about amazing programs which Monterey Bay Aquarium has. And they are all available for everybody. Also, if you haven't seen our previous video from the Monterey Bay Aquarium, we highly recommend you watch that video on our channel. And we'll see you guys real soon. Bye bye. And thanks for watching.